Peace, justice, and strong institutions. These are the foundations of sustainable development. Yet, around the world, many face conflict, inequality, and a lack of accountability from governing bodies. Today, we're going to explore Sustainable Development Goal 16, which aims to build peaceful and inclusive societies for all. A world where justice is accessible and strong institutions protect the rights of every individual. SDG 16 focuses on promoting peace, justice, and institutions that are transparent, accountable, and inclusive. It includes targets like reducing violence, ensuring equal access to justice, and strengthening institutions at all levels. But what does this mean in practice? Target 16.1 is about significantly reducing all forms of violence. Target 16.2 seeks to end abuse, exploitation, and trafficking. Another key target, 16.3, aims to promote the rule of law and ensure equal access to justice, and 16.6 calls for developing effective, accountable institutions. These targets lay the groundwork for a peaceful and just world. In Pakistan, the challenges related to SDG 16 are significant. Violence, corruption, and limited access to justice continue to affect millions. For example, Pakistan faces issues like honor killings, gender-based violence, and human trafficking. According to a 2021 report, Pakistan ranks 129th out of 139 countries in terms of political corruption. Moreover, access to justice remains a struggle for many, especially marginalized communities including women, ethnic minorities, and those in rural areas. One tragic incident that caught international attention was the lynching of a Sri Lankan national in Karachi in 2022. This shocking act of violence not only highlighted the breakdown of law and order, but also underscored the urgent need for stronger institutions, justice systems, and peace-building initiatives in Pakistan. On the global stage, one of the most devastating examples of failure of peace and justice is the ongoing Gaza-Israel conflict. This long-standing and complex conflict has led to untold loss of life and suffering, with civilians bearing the brunt of violence. The most recent escalation in 2023 saw thousands killed and many more displaced, while the international community remains divided on how to achieve a lasting peace. It's a stark reminder of how the absence of peace and justice leads to more violence and instability, providing both sides from moving toward sustainable solutions. Another urgent example of the need for peace, justice, and strong institutions is the ongoing unrest in Syria. While the Syrian civil war has been devastating for over a decade, recent uprisings in 2023 to 2024 have added further layers of complexity to the situation. Initially sparked by local grievances, protests against government repression have escalated, with civilians once again caught in the crossfire. The Syrian regime's violent crackdown, along with continued involvement from foreign powers, has led to a collapse of law and order in many areas. In regions controlled by various factions, civilians often have no access to justice, and human rights violations remain rampant. The conflict has exacerbated the displacement of millions and left many Syrians without basic needs, such as healthcare, education, or security. This latest unrest reinforces the need for transparent, accountable institutions to protect rights and bring about peace. In the region surrounding Pakistan, Afghanistan's ongoing instability plays a significant role in shaping the security and governance landscape. The 2021 Taliban takeover marked a dramatic shift, and the last few years have been filled with internal unrest, rising violence, and severe humanitarian consequences. While the Taliban promises peace and stability, their strict interpretation of Islamic law and the continued repression of human rights, especially for women and minority groups, has only deepened the crisis. The security situation has worsened, with increasing attacks by ISIS-K, the Islamic State's affiliate in Afghanistan. These groups target not only the Afghan government and military but also civilians, leading to more violence, fear, and instability. The collapse of the rule of law and the failure to ensure justice for all have left millions of Afghans vulnerable. Pakistan, sharing a long border with Afghanistan, faces the spillover of this unrest in the form of refugees, cross-border militancy and destabilizing activities from insurgent groups operating within both countries. This ongoing conflict in Afghanistan poses a severe challenge to regional peace and the achievement of SDG 16. Key stakeholders in achieving SDG 16 include NGOs, government organizations, and civil society. Groups like the Amount Foundation and SCP, the Society for the Protection of the Rights of the Child, have been at the forefront advocating for legal reforms, justice for victims of violence, and the protection of children's rights. The Pakistan Justice Project, funded by the UK government, has also been helping strengthen Pakistan's legal and judicial systems. Programs like Pakistan's National Action Plan on Human Rights and the ECP's efforts for electoral transparency are crucial steps towards realizing SDG 16. Through these initiatives, Pakistan has been working to improve rights conditions, ensure free and fair elections, and combat corruption. In 2022, the Justice Sector Support Program worked closely with Pakistan's courts to increase judicial efficiency and reduce delays. Another significant initiative aimed at building peace and strengthening institutions is Aman Ki Asha, a cross-border project focused on fostering Indo-Pakistani relations. Through dialogue, cultural exchanges, and mutual cooperation, Aman Ki Asha works to bridge divides, reduce hostility, and promote lasting peace between two nations. It's a prime example of how grassroots initiatives can build peace and justice, laying the foundation for stronger, more inclusive societies. Globally, best practices in SDG 16 are evident in countries that have successfully reduced violence and built stronger institutions. For example, Rwanda, after the 1994 genocide, rebuilt its society with a focus on justice and reconciliation. The European Union has also been a leader in promoting strong institutions, with its governance reforms in Eastern Europe and efforts to ensure rule of law in post-conflict areas. Achieving SDG 16 is not just the responsibility of governments or NGOs, it requires every individual's involvement. We all have a part to play in creating peaceful, just, and inclusive societies, whether it's by supporting anti-corruption measures, standing up for the rights of the oppressed, or ensuring access to justice for all. We can all contribute to building strong institutions and a peaceful world. Together, let's push for a world where peace, justice, and strong institutions are not just ideals, but reality. The journey is long, but with collective effort, we can make it happen.